I don't like bandwagon Call of Duty hate. If you're gonna have an opinion, please don't lift it wholesale from the internet. I've played every multiplayer COD there's been. I usually make it about first prestige and then I drop off onto other games. Needless to say, I'm not obsessed, but I like it fine. First of all, the campaigns are pretty solid. That's something you don't hear very often, but it's true. But then you get people looking through a cinephile's microscope at all the plot points, searching for inconsistent bacteria, and then you get a dissenter's consensus of, oh no, yeah, the campaign is bad. Why do they even make campaigns? It's so bad, it's bad. It's not bad, you're just a snooty little boy who thinks Pulp Fiction is the illest because people told you to, and now you judge straightforward storytelling as a lesser being. This plot starts from the beginning. How dreary, how dull. I prefer my stories to be puzzles I must put together in my mind. Oh, now I shall adjust my monocle and continue snickering into the sunset. Call of Duty campaigns are always solid gameplay experiences. Just because you'd rather jump immediately into multiplayer doesn't mean we're wasting our time with it. I've played most shooters on the market, and for my money, I've almost never seen one outperform COD just in terms of responsiveness. The gunplay is snappy AF, seamless controls, fluid movement even in the non-jetpack ones. The only game I've played that surpassed it in terms of comfort was Doom, because that's the best FPS of all time, and it's hard to beat the best FPS of all time. No, but Call of Duty sucks somehow because it's not Battlefield and it's not Titanfall. I have no idea why it versus Battlefield is a thing. They're not even close to the same game. Battlefield is about large-scale war. Call of Duty is about small-scale engagements. Battlefield is about ultra-realism and historical accuracy. Call of Duty is about arcade-style fun and killing zombies with ray guns. Different audiences entirely. You might as well compare Titanfall to Splatoon. But it's dumb because it releases annually with few changes. What do you want it to change? A game about shooting people is always gonna have you shooting people. Also, they've implemented plenty of innovations across the series' lifespan you'd rather ignore so you can keep being yourself at the expense of other sanity. A Call of Duty game doesn't release where they don't at least tweak literally everything from past entries. A lot of changes will fly under your radar, especially if you've pre-wired yourself to not notice them, but they happening. You know, if you put a frog in a pot of water on the stove and gradually increase the heat, the frog won't realize it's getting hotter until it's already boiled to death. That's kind of like people who complain about Call of Duty's lack of evolution. Just sitting in bubbly water while their skin scalds off going, it's still cold, what the fuck, it's cold every year, nothing ever changes. I'm not saying it's the be-all end-all of amazing games, it's just not shit, and it's not the exact same thing every time. You can apply that watered-down, it's the same argument to almost every game. Like with Pokemon, which is a game I love, people are always like, it's always the same formula, which they can't say anymore after Sun and Moon, so now they just say they miss the old formula because people's opinions are as opportunistic as they are. But before, they were like, you always just collect all the gym badges and challenge the league. Alright, by that logic, every Legend of Zelda game is the same because you have a sword and save the kingdom, and every Grand Theft Auto is the same because you're always a criminal that runs over civilians, every Kingdom Hearts is the same because you have a Keyblade and fight things with it, every Madden is the same because football, and every insert favorite series here is the same because insert signature gameplay mechanics or plot devices here. Of course sequels are derivative of the original product. If they weren't, they would be different franchises. I wish Black Ops 3 was less like Black Ops 2 and more like Super Mario Sunshine. Fucking what? You don't want every game to go from Jak and Daxter to Jak 2. It would be chaotic madness. So Call of Duty isn't bad just because you downloaded a subreddit onto your brain, and here's the other thing about that, it's easy entertainment. I am an easily entertained person. You know what the difference between an easily entertained person and a hard-to-entertain person is? Easily entertained people get entertained more, which is like inarguably a good thing. Actually, it's bad to have good times more often because it makes you gay or something. Yeah, alright. Enjoy your self-imposed misery while you look down on positive emotions. I have fully drank the Pete Holmes Kool-Aid. Just fucking enjoy yourself. Set your joy quota high and hit that shit on the reg. If you think you're better than certain mediums, you lock yourself out of fun and happiness. But enough about that. Since I have nothing else to irk me at the moment, I thought I'd shift gears a little bit and talk to y'all about my most anticipated games of 2018. First off, a game not enough people are talking about, even though every game news place is rightly calling it the next gaming revolution, is Media Molecule's Dreams. Never been more hyped for a game in my life. You know Media Molecule, they made the first 2/3 of Little Big Planet and that one Vita thing. They are the premier studio for putting creation tools in the hands of the players and letting them share their inner designers with the world. Dreams takes the creationism of LBP and turns it up to 11,000, letting people make their own dreams for other people to experience. With patience and skill, you can make dreams better than Media Molecule itself. And something else that really has my attention is how in-depth the music creation tools are. There's sampling. You can literally score your own levels with original music, and you fucking know I'm gonna be doing that. I'm already calling Dreams my premier music platform. I can make actual music videos for my instrumentals, and I have 2 erections thinking about it. So Dreams is number 1 by 10 million miles on my list. Number 2 is Insomniac's Spider-Man game. There's just no way that game can turn out to be anything but amazing, because Insomniac, famous creator of Spyro and Ratchet and Clank among other successes, is at the helm, and every trailer or dev video I see just reinforces that. I'm hoping for Batman Arkham City levels of quality, and I think they can deliver. Kingdom Hearts 3 seems like it'll be phenomenal, but at this point we're still looking at it through a telescope, so until it gets closer in some official capacity, I can't muster much for it. But more than 3 simultaneous party members, Pixar Worlds, a solid combination of every KH battle mechanic across the series, and you have yourself a fitting topper to a franchise we all grew up and had children while we waited for the end of it. I've not seen much about it since its E3 reveal a year or 2 ago, but Detroit Become Human caught my eye right away for the hyper-realistic AI and decision-making plot choices. I don't usually care about multiple endings in a game enough to want to see all of them. I'm down for an Infamous kind of thing where there's a good and bad ending and you play the game twice differently to see both, but Detroit strikes me as a game where they should gather a bunch of YouTubers and have them play the whole thing with no outside influence and record all of their choices, so after you finish the game, you can compare your results to your favorite YouTubers. I think that will be sick. It'll almost be like a personality test, like playing the game as taking the test and you post your results and see where you differ from the crowd. They could have done that with Until Dawn as well, and I loved that game, so I get really into games where a playthrough basically doubles as an aptitude and personality test. I doubt they'll do it, but it'll still be fun to do it myself, and y'all can see if I made the decisions you thought I would. Soul Calibur 6? Hell yeah! Talem in the roster or we riot. I played the hell out of Soul Calibur 2 in my PS2 days. That game's story mode was, if you really look back, Soul Calibur 2 has the best fighting game story mode I've ever seen to this day. It's like an adventure mode, moving to different encounters across the map, earning gold to spend on new costumes and weapon skins, getting in fights with specific win conditions that pertained to the story situations. Like, that was some next level shit for a PS2 fighting game. So I'm amped. Anyway, that's all I can think of, so that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and keep it up with the opinions in the comments. And I'll see you guys next time.